This lecture is on what is called Cpctc. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. I will show that definition in a little while. And the idea is that once we know how to show the triangles are congruent, and we've got that now through different methods including side angle side, side side side, angle side angle, and angle angle side, at that point we can now show that other corresponding parts of these two triangles are also congruent, the ones that weren't told to be that were congruent originally through Cpctc. So we show the triangles are congruent with methods we've done, then we use Cpctc to show that other parts are then congruent to corresponding parts. So here again is the definition of this. So if the triangles are congruent, then all the corresponding parts are congruent. So again, corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. You can only use Cpctc as a reason in a proof after you get the two triangles to be congruent, so that's your first thing. So here's a quick example of what I mean. We have these two triangles, triangle ABC, triangle DEF. The given would have been something like AB is congruent to DE, BC is congruent to EF, angle B is congruent to angle E. So we put that in the given. Then I could say the triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF through SAS. Now once I know that, I'm able to say that angle A is congruent to angle D because corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. These are congruent triangles. This angle corresponds to this one, therefore they're congruent by Cpctc. Likewise, I could say that side AC is congruent to DF because they are corresponding sides of triangles that we now know are congruent. So this is the kind of step that comes after you've proved triangles to show that other things are also congruent. Okay. How would you show that angle A is congruent to angle C? So just sort of a rough way to think about setting up a proof. Well, we know that BD is congruent to itself by reflexive. So at that point, we could say that the two triangles, this one here and this one there, are congruent through side angle side. I've got a side angle side. And once you do that, once you've got the triangles congruent, you could say these two angles are congruent through Cpctc. Over here, this side's congruent to itself, so I know that this triangle here and this triangle there are congruent by angle side angle and angle side angle. So now I could say that HE and FG are congruent by Cpctc. Over here, these two triangles are congruent by angle side angle. So now that I know those triangles are congruent, I can say that these angles are congruent by Cpctc because you've established the triangles are congruent. Therefore, the corresponding parts are as well. Down here again, I can say this side's congruent to itself by reflexive. So I've got angle, angle, side to show that my triangles are congruent, angle, angle, side. Once I know that, I can say that the angles, angle QST, which is this one here, and angle SQR over here are congruent by Cpctc. This problem, again, I would use reflexive. And now these two triangles are congruent by side, side, side. And then to get these angles congruent, Cpctc, corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Vertical angles are congruent, and so I've got angle, side angle to show my triangles are congruent. Then again, I use Cpctc to show that ZA and AC are congruent. Reflexive here, so I've got side, angle, side. And then I would use Cpctc for FG and DG. Vertical angles, so I've got angle, angle, side, and then you would use Cpctc again for JK and KL. Reflexive, so again it's side, side, side to get the triangles congruent. Once I know that, corresponding parts, angle and angle Q would also be congruent. And you can pick any pair of corresponding parts. Okay, a couple sample proofs. We have BD perpendicular to AB, BD perpendicular to DE, BC congruent to CD, prove that angle A is congruent to angle E. So I listed all the given. I just put it all out there at once. I know that angle B and angle D are right angles because perpendicular lines form right angles. I know therefore that angle B is congruent to angle D because all right angles are congruent. I know that angle ACB is congruent to angle DCE because they're vertical. And now I know that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle EDC because of angle side angle. And now that I've established the triangles are congruent, I can prove what I need to, that angle A is congruent to angle E through Cpctc. over in this one, I list all the given. I've already got it labeled up here. FJ is congruent to GH. This angle is congruent to this one. I know that FH is congruent to itself through reflexive. Now I can say that triangle JFH is congruent to triangle GHF by side angle side. I've got a side angle side with a side angle side. And now that I've established the triangles are congruent, I can say their corresponding parts are. So FG corresponds to JH. You see it on the figure. You also see it in the lettering that FG first and third, JH first and third, the letters match up. So the parts are congruent.